So I've talked about performance improvement in a lot of ways in previous videos, but I don't think I've ever put it in the frame of here's how to do it yourself. Um, I wanted to create this one actually to pass along to my coaching clients as we begin to uncover particular areas that they need to improve in their performance. We then need to put on the hat of problem solvers. What is contributing to the gap that we see in the performance we want? And by understanding the variables that are involved, we now turn my client into an active thinker, a problem solver on their own right, so that we're thinking alongside one another to identify the solutions. So that's the purpose of this, but I thought, well, while I'm at it, why don't I teach the rest of you guys as well? So here's how to do it yourself performance improvement. The lens that we're going to use comes from a gentleman by the name of Tom Gilbert. Tom wrote Human Competence, Engineering Worthy Performance. It is a stellar read. And what Tom outlined were 6 different variables that are required for anybody to do the job. So as you're looking at the work that you want to get better at, and you think, I need to improve in this particular way, then what you need to look at is looking at that particular performance system. How strong is the information that you have on the front end, right? Your information that you have, the expectations, how clear are they? The feedback, and feedback is understood in this sense as information you're receiving relative to the performance as you're doing it. So involved in this information bucket, that's box 1, is having a robust measurement system. We're actually tracking your progress. So the first box is around information, expectations, and feedback. The second box is, do I have the resources that I need, adequate resources in order to do the job well? This includes tools, time, the workspace, job aids, and anything else required in order to do superior performance. The third box is the incentives box. Okay, that is, if I do what the performance that's required, can I expect to receive something that I value? So incentives should include both for reward, that is, things that are happies that I get if I do what I'm supposed to do, and punishment. I know we don't like that particular word, but what are the negative consequences that accrue to me if I don't do the best I can do? Or, I'm sorry, if I don't produce the expected accomplishments. The incentives should be both in the form of dollars. That is part of why we go to work. But that's not the only reason we go to work. And in fact, sometimes that's not the most powerful motivators for us. So what are those other non-financial? What's the level of recognition we like to receive, or perks, or whatever? So those are the first 3. Box number 4, we'll just start from over here, is knowledge and skills. Do I have, for the particular job at hand, for the particular role that I'm occupying, do I have the knowledge that I need? Do I have the skill set that I need in order to be effective at that? What is my capability and fit? Now, Tom, when he wrote this was definitely one of the boxes. The idea here is, do we have people who are intellectually, do they have the brain power needed to do the job? Socially, emotionally, physically. This is something that actually needs to be found at hiring, right? You either have the capability, literally I don't have the capability to do it, to dunk a basketball. You could give me everything else here. You could give me all the incentives in the world and let me practice with the best coaches and tell me I exactly had to do it. You could fill out every one of these boxes, but the performance would fail because I simply can't jump that high. I don't have the capability. So this box is the one I spend the least time on because you hire for that. You find people who have the basic goods to do it. That's all we're going to say there. The last box is around motivation. That is the energy that I bring in order to do the work. Now, one thing to notice as you look at these 6 boxes, of course, this is what the organization supplies to us. This is what we bring to the game. So in terms of do-it-yourself performance improvement, as I identify particular gaps in any of these areas, this should prompt a conversation with my manager to talk about my needs, because it is up to the organization to supply this for us. The 75% that is in the research that's been done on this over the years, this is about a 60-year-old model, and it's been used by many people and researched. Most of performance gaps come from a gap somewhere up in here, roughly 75%. Only 25% comes down to what the individual brings to the game. That is, they don't know enough, they can't do it, they're not motivated enough. Great perspective with just that thought, because too often when we're looking at people who report to us, not the do-it-yourself, typically if we don't see what we want to see, we often attribute it to, oh, they don't want to. Well, no, that's not what the research says. Or we send them to training, which, of course, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either, because if they've ever done the job well, they don't have a gap in knowledge and skills. So, these, back to the point, a gap here prompts a conversation with my manager. A gap here may prompt a conversation because I may need additional training, but it's effort I first take on myself. Now, in just a moment, I'm going to give you a little bit more specifics for each of these areas so that you truly understand this and so that you can dig into it and do your own performance improvement analysis. Let's now, though, look particularly at motivation. This is the harder nut to crack for many people. I want to, really, and I do believe at a core level, people want to do good work. That is, every person goes into the role that they're in wanting to succeed. So at some level, we're all motivated. But at different times, our effort and energy can wane. How do we address that other than just saying, oh, grit my teeth, do harder, do more?